Hey, it's Analysts After Work.
Vince.
Here we go. It's Vince, and
Vince.
and I don't know, but I don't know if you saw that, Bruce. There was some dancing to the intro music.
No.
It's a Vince original, and it is groovy. I'm loving it. But welcome to Analysts After Work. Bruce Gay joins the fray today. What do you say, Brucey?
Hey, thanks for having me on, Vince. No, doing good. I loved it. I love the music. It had a real groove, but I missed the
Right?
dancing. So we'll
Right.
get my
Oh,
thoughts.
okay. I'm not going to redo it, but like
Yeah.
I was, yeah. If you looked in the little bottom corner, you would have seen it.
Oh,
We are expecting to be joined by Dan Simon anytime now, but the power is out in Dan's place, so he's gonna get on when he can get on. Otherwise, it's just me and Brucey.
yep.
So we can just sit here and chat. Me and Bruce go way back, and we can talk about maybe the time that we did that presentation in LA. We got a lot of stuff we can talk about.
Oh yeah.
The International Brotherhood of Troublemakers.
Troublemakers.
That's another brotherhood that I'm unfortunately a part of. But maybe we'll start the way we always start, Brucey. What are you bringing to the festivities today?
Oh yeah, no, I am. So for folks who don't know me, I'm a program manager and PMO lead out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And yeah, I've known Vince for several years now. I'm on the PMI speaker circuit, as well as the Project Summit Business Analyst Worlds circuit. So that keeps me busy. And this year, I'm actually speaking at a couple of more BA related, business analyst related organizations. So I'm looking forward to that. It's a, honestly, the BAs, I enjoy working with them because they're able to get out there. They're good talking to people and they're good listeners, and they're a lot less formal than the project managers that I know. So, yeah,
just generally better. Just say it, Bruce. Just generally better.
All around
better.
Interesting people, and so Vince will bring this up eventually. But one of my big things that I do is try to bring together design thinking and project management. That's been my sort of focus for the past couple of years. So that's one thing I'm really interested in, and I'm also slowly getting into training others how to do more customer focused and design thinking. So that's also another awesome thing that I'm interested in. So yep.
Yeah, and Bruce, what's in your glass today?
Oh, today
you're just chilling.
I'm just
water?
chilling. It is sparkling water, and then if I get really dry, I've got Pellegrino.
So San Pellegrino, nice.
Yeah. I don't ask me why I'm drinking Italian water.
No, it's fine. I got like 6 cans of San Pellegrino in the fridge upstairs. I'm going. You know what? I got the glass. I'm good. I'm good.
No, good.
You brought it up there, Brucey. Let's talk about this because you and I are going to be. It's been a while. We're going to be at the same event next week.
Yes.
And in the interim, in between those, because of the nature of virtual presentations, I'm going to be sort of in your neck of the woods. I know that they're different cities, but I'm going to be in Philly next Wednesday. But we've got Sarcha here, who is, I think, the director of comms. I just saw her pop up in the comments. But she is the director of communications, or in Sarcha, I'm sorry if I'm getting the title right, for the Brussels chapter. We are going to be at the BA and Beyond event next week. And what do you? I think you're talking about something a little bit different than what you normally do. So what's going on next week, my friend?
Yeah, at BA and Beyond, who's put together by several different IIBA organizations,
Yeah, I think it's the
Brussels,
Amsterdam
Amsterdam.
and the
Yeah,
Brussels chapter.
there's a
Yeah,
couple. So I have one session on it's basically how to craft executive presentations. So I've got another co-presenter, not on my session, but she's also talking about how um, to involve communications with leadership. And oddly enough, our content overlaps and it's complementary. So there it's sort of
mm,
how do you prepare for going into the boardroom to pitch your business plan or an initiative or something that you need to give an update to. So it is definitely interesting. And then on Friday, I'll do a workshop on design thinking. So with a focus
cool.
on requirements elicitation on that piece. So
Yeah,
yep.
and I think the person you're referring to is Barb Karkanord,
Yes.
who
Yeah.
is like her book was the first book that I read when I got into the analysis space, and so
Awesome.
I was doing uh, a practitioners chat at BBC last year, the Building Business Capability Conference, and I was doing this thing on leadership, and unbeknownst to me, she's in the room listening, and at one point, like I do my spiel, I'm answering questions, and then she says, "Do you mind if I add my comments or something to that effect?" And I tried to play it cool. I'm like, yeah. I mean, let's open it up to discussion. And secretly, I'm like, you should be leading this thing, not me. I'm just like a schmuck who got asked to do this thing. Yeah, yes, please. The floor is yours. So not to like, it wasn't like a fanboy thing, but just it was just like, yeah, you're more OG than I am. So yeah, you should be. Yes, please, please. And I mean, just generally add your 2 cents. But that's awesome, man. So you're gonna be busy next week.
Yeah, and I didn't know
You gotta
she was that
fly
famous.
to.
I didn't know
I'm
she was
sorry.
that famous. I didn't know Barb was that famous. Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
once you get to a certain, well, I mean, I think she was one of the founding members of IIBA back in the day.
Oh,
So
okay,
you know,
cool.
like I said, an OG. I don't consider myself an OG. I'm the next. I'm the Pepsi. I'm the next generation. That's awesome, man, and that's cool. To about, and I watched today on Patrick for the conference. I saw you talking about it. Mine still hasn't aired, so I think maybe I screwed up or I did something wrong.
Uh-oh.
Because I don't know. Maybe I'm just not presentable, but but it's cool that because I don't think you've that's a new topic for you, right? The crafting a presentation,
That
even though I
one,
know it's something you're familiar with. Like,
yeah, and I've presented that once before for PMI, but obviously
okay,
I modified it. The audience is different, and so there's different drivers, different a little bit slightly different vocabulary too. But but yeah, no, and that's a fun one because
gotcha.
people in my companies that I've worked with, everyone wants to just throw it all in and run in and talk to the leaders in our company, and it's that's a mess. There's really it's an art. You've got to
Mm,
craft how you're going to bring information in front of the board and in front of leadership so that you don't walk out of there with everybody going, "What was that?" So, yeah. Yeah.
right, right. It's so I mean I'm going to be there as well in the interim, and I talked about this, and Judy's got a comment. So apparently my rep is out. I'm doing a session for the IIBA Philly chapter
Mm-hmm.
on Wednesday on the 17th. So St. Patty's Day, gotta do something special for the
Wear
folks
your
of Philly.
green. Put on the hat. Do you have a hat?
This is the only green thing I have. It's my Yoda
Oh,
T-shirt.
yeah.
I don't have a
You
lot of
need
green
more.
stuff.
You need
Yeah,
more.
I mean, it's fine. I mean, it's fine. But Monday, I'm gonna be at I think it's the Amsterdam version of BA and
Mhm.
Beyond. I'm going to be
Okay.
talking about something I've done a little bit of talking about. It's part of my enterprise analysis course, and it's on overcoming bias because
Mhm.
in a lot of cases we are victim to, and it's natural, but we fall victim to our biases, and it impacts our ability to make decisions. So to me, and like you, Bruce, I think these are things that we sort of know and practice, and now we're just getting an opportunity to talk a little bit more about
Mhm. Mhm.
versus, let's talk about design. Like, I'm sure you love design thinking, but
Good.
you know more than that. So it's an
Yeah.
opportunity to broaden the scope of
Exactly.
offerings
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
Bruce. And so I've got that session. It is an
That's
intermezzo
awesome.
session. So
Oh.
I am sharing my time with nobody,
Uh-huh.
which is awesome. And then somehow I weaseled my way into doing this show for the Amsterdam close and the Brussels close on Thursday.
Cool.
Um,
Cool.
yeah, I just
Who are you interviewing? Who are your guests?
I don't recall. I think the Philip
Uh-huh.
and Patrick
Okay.
and
Okay.
Walter are booking them. I'm just I'm the hired gun. I'm going
Awesome.
in where
You
I
know,
just
it'll
get
work
to.
out. Yeah.
But that little intro, the lead in, the 30-second thing. There's
Mm-hmm.
a custom one for Amsterdam.
Cool.
There's a
Yeah.
custom one for Brussels.
For
It's gonna be
Brussels.
fun.
That's
It's
awesome.
I'm gonna be there 3 days. People are gonna be sick of me.
No, no, no,
Um,
no, no, no,
but no, Brucey, they will. I'm self-aware enough to know this is an acquired taste. But
no.
it's this isn't this is an acquired taste. Like, not
Hey, I
not
still
everybody's
hang
gonna
out with
like
you.
me.
So what does that say about
I
about
know.
me?
I'm saying, Bruce, we get on well. I'm saying it's
Yeah, yeah,
you have to get used to me.
yeah.
It takes a little bit to get through the sarcasm because it is coming from a good place.
Oh God, it's
But
deep.
as part of
It's
it,
so
we're
deep.
we're
That's the hardest thing. And I've got to tell your watchers, I can never tell if it's the Canadian in you or if it's really a Vince thing. And it is hard because, oh my God, as Americans, there is such a passive aggressiveness within the Canadian kid. Oh, I shouldn't say that. So
yeah. Don't no, because I mean, you know what? We're nice.
oh yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
now, that being said, I have, and Jen Batten will attest to this. I have never seen Minnesota nice. Like, that is, you want to talk about passive aggressive?
Oh yeah, yeah.
That is passive aggressive. That Minnesota nice.
And I'm from the South, and so we can be just as evil, smiling and
Yeah,
stabbing you at the same time. So yes, yes.
right, right. Yeah, and that's cool.
Yeah,
Um,
but
I don't know. I
that'll
was
be
gonna say
awesome. I mean,
something now.
having
Yeah,
these types of events after these virtual events, I think is cool because I mean, you've been to so many virtual events over the past year. After a while, there's only so much we can do staring into the cameras and sitting and absorbing. And I think having live presentations here. So
yeah. Yeah, yeah, I'm excited for that. I would have loved to have been able to go over to Amsterdam and Brussels. I've been to, I mean, I've technically been to Amsterdam, but like,
the
I went
airport.
to Schiphol, the airport. That was it.
Yeah,
And then I had a
yeah,
connecting flight to Madrid.
yeah.
So I've technically been there, but I've not been there.
So I was there
But
2 years
yeah,
ago.
it's
It's great because their cell phone system works awesome. Their trains work wonderful. I lived in Germany for a while, and apparently the German rail system is starting to go downhill, but the Dutch really have everything running really well over there. So good.
they
It was
are
good.
they are them they are efficient. They get
Mhm.
things done, you know.
Oh yeah. Yep.
It is the way. This is the way. For my Star Wars folks in
There
the
you go.
This is the way. It is the way. So yeah, and as part of it, I'm also doing for next week. I also have a code for my courses that's going out to all the thing. But, and this is the big sort of reveal today. If you attend the Analysts after Amsterdam and the Analysts after Brussels, there's going to be a special code that requires you to do some things. One, you have to attend BA and Beyond. But then you have to register for Serendipity, which is another thing, Brucey, that you're going to be involved with. I think. Did you write back to me? Yeah, you did right. Yeah,
I did. I'm in.
I know, man, but there's a lot going on.
I know.
So Serendipity, you're going to be moderating one of the panels. Just so much good stuff going on.
Yeah,
man.
I'm looking
so
forward
much
to
good stuff going on.
Yeah, I'm excited for you and Adrian.
It's going to be cool.
Yeah, this is going to be I think it's going to something that's different. I think is really going to attract a lot of different individuals, and the fact that it's going to be different learning styles or whatever, different educational styles too. I think is going to allow different people to learn differently. So it's good. It's good.
Yeah. Well, and I think what's really cool about it is like we're going to encourage people to not go to some sessions. Like when we were talking about the idea, it was like, some of the best moments at conferences is when you run into somebody that you meet brand new or you haven't seen in a while. You skip the session you were going to go to, and you end up just talking for an hour, and it's the best. So we want to create space and allow space for that to happen.
That's
which
awesome.
is cool. So we're planning that into the agenda. So like the agenda is pretty packed, but if you want to skip. Like no one's gonna get mad at you. So anyways, it's actually encouraged. But lots of stuff. Bruce, we are now officially 1 year into the pandemic. How are you doing, my friend?
1 year, crazy. So, the last time I was on your show, I still had my cast on and a boot, not a boot, not a boot.
Yeah, an actual a boot, not the stereotypical way that Canadians apparently say about.
Exactly. I had double fractured my ankle, so I was lucky enough to get my elective surgery done the first week of March, and then in second week of March we all shut down. So I was very lucky. It would have been. It was weird enough to be in the hospital and seeing just the things starting to happen. But yeah, no, this has been an interesting year. One, I think we've a lot of manual process and paper process is turned digital, and in my company, I work for a hospital system, so a lot that we were doing was digitized. Had to start to figure out how to do work from home. I've got a 6th grader. She was a 5th grader last year. We had to figure out how to educate them. It's super hard. So, lots of props to teachers. It's not easy, especially when we don't know the coursework or we don't understand how to interpret the books. And so there's a lot of stuff there. Like most of us, I think we crave the human contact. So I really miss not seeing people and not being able to travel. And then the virtual events really picked up and started to replace our face-to-face. But I mean, as a participant and even as a presenter, it's still hard. I get energy off of speaking to people in person. And as you pointed out, that you left room within the agenda or encourage people not to go to to presentations during Serendipity. There's a lot of networking and learning outside of the sessions when you are physically at conferences. And so that's a plus. And
right.
I miss it as well. Yeah.
Right. My oldest daughter asked me today about, not because it's a year, I think it was just a coincidence, but she asked me are you upset that you have to go to work, or something to that effect? And it was like, no, I'm not, because I get to go downstairs, and then like I go to my office.
Yeah.
And then she asked, like, and you never want to go back to work. And that was actually a hard question, because I think, like you, it was that moment of like, well, I mean, I never want to go to the office for work, but I miss seeing my friends at the office, where you run into somebody and it's like, hey, I haven't seen you in like 3 months. Let's go grab lunch, or let's go, grab a coffee or whatever.
Yeah.
I miss those moments, and you get those a lot at events as well, right? Like Amy, Amy always describes it as going to camp. I miss Jen Bedell and the Jens, and Mindy and Jimmy and Sabi and you and Dan and Steve-O and
it's the highlight of the year.
Hans,
it's like
and Leslie. Like I miss all you guys.
Yeah, it's our friends who we haven't seen in a while. Oh no. Vince, you okay?
I mean, it's just it's been so long, and I just can't take it anymore, Brucey. I'm not actually making fun of. I am putting on a bit of thing, but no, I mean it is I think it is starting to affect me. It's starting to mess me up. But.
Yeah, we need we're social creatures, so we need that contact. And I actually went back in the office on Tuesday, met with the vice president and my boss, and it was wonderful. I mean, the fact that we could get together in a room, talk for an hour, and we probably accomplished 3 hours worth of work in that 1 hour. And that will start. We'll see that later on this year. We'll start to see, it's the human contact. It's a relationships. It's a relationship building. We need that. It's part of our nature. The fact that we've got screens in between us, that is not that's. And we all know that we do better with our customers, we do better with our coworkers, we do better with our superiors when we're able to read the small nuances off the body language as well. So
yeah, and that piece of it is missing.
Yes.
Right? Are you reading the comments?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Acting.
Yeah. Acting. No, you're right, and I mean, I think that's presented a challenge, because you don't have, like, I can easily, if I'm in a meeting and I want to like roll my eyes, if I'm sitting across the table from you, it's really hard to do without you seeing. Versus, I just closed my little cover thing, and like, there, now I can roll my eyes. I can go like this.
Yeah.
I can make an exasperated like, and then come back and be fine. We can't do that. But there's other benefits. Like, I'm yeah. Did you record that? That was weird. Or did that just come
No,
now?
that was me. That was me launching YouTube, and I had you making that awful sound. So
don't do that, man. We're like a 7-second delay. So
I know.
that freaked me out.
Learned that.
Don't do that.
Hey, you know what? I'm the curiosity kills the cat.
Yeah. No, never. Don't follow the comments here.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Don't worry.
Oh, but no. Yeah. So it is. It is.
Oh, Fabricio, you're the best, my friend.
Yeah. No. Those are. Yeah. And anyway, so the pandemic. I mean, it's funny too, because it played a real mind trip as far as with time. It doesn't feel like a year ago, but then last summer it felt like we'd always been in pandemic. So it's a strange thing where I guess I'm an optimist at heart. I feel like I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. We'll get there eventually, but
yeah.
Is that our button? Telling you that he's got
it is. I'm just letting him know that he can. I mean, we're live, so it's hard to have multiple devices. But I'm letting him know. Yes, Dan, get in here, buddy.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I mean, with compliments, the vaccine rollout, at least from afar in the States, has been tremendous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
what is it up to? Like 3 million
yeah, yeah,
doses a day? Like, if we did that, if we in Canada did that, we'd be done in 3 weeks.
yeah, yeah. And so, and I feel very. I get a lot of pain in my heart when I think of Canadians just across the border. I'm like, what's going on?
Mm.
And I know we've got a bag full of money, so I know we're buying it, but I don't know what happened to
Yes,
your government, why they didn't have the things lined up. It's yeah,
they
it's a,
did, but I think, and I almost can't fault the protectionism that's now we're getting into like political science here. I
Mhm,
can't fault the protectionism. The reality is the majority of the stuff that we bought is produced in the States.
yeah,
And
yeah,
so, I mean, we've got a little bit coming from Europe, but I mean, everyone's got their problems, man. So I think,
yeah, yeah,
we're getting what we're contractually obligated to get.
yeah, yeah. And
But for
here's
the
to make it
most
even
part,
worse. My
everything's
daughter,
staying in the States.
yeah, my daughter goes to Michigan State in Lansing, Michigan. North of there is where I think it's
Right.
Pfizer. Pfizer's, and so that's literally like an hour and a half to the Windsor border for you guys. So it's not even that far away.
Right. I've been to Lansing, but yeah. All right. Well, we're gonna continue this conversation, but we want to welcome to the stage
Oh,
Dan and the bartender. Dan, where are
How we
you? Where'd he
doing?
go?
I'm here.
Where'd he go? He was just here. Okay, there he is. Dan, the bartender. Dan Simon,
Yeah.
what's going on, my friend?
Crazy chaos with the power outage and internet service and all that stuff down. It was a fun time getting a response out of them, but back on. And, traditionally, cheers, everybody.
I'm not going to cheers you because my cup is empty, but
That's all right.
that looks good.
cheers.
What is it?
What is this?
Yeah.
This is so I decided, thank you for asking. I decided to up my game this time around. So I did a Captain Morgan 7-Up last time. This is a layered coffee drink.
Uh-huh.
And in this case, full disclosure, it's a mocktail because that's the recipe. I was going to roll with throwing some Baileys or Kahlua in it, but because of all of my technical issues, I didn't have time to, whip all that together in the right configuration. So I was making the mocktails and experimenting, and so that's what I went with today. But, trying to up the game a little bit from something plain when I'm on with the Analysts after work.
Well, then this is tremendous. This is the first completely alcohol-free edition of Analysts After Work, or the only one I can remember, at least. And that's cool. Like,
yeah, no, and that's I was gonna do the hybrid. I was gonna do a mocktail and the cocktail to do both at the bad time. Yes, it is a bad time to work as a bartender, but when you can do it on video with analysts and have discussions regarding what you're making and go down those roads, it's always fun. Always. So what I missed,
and you've got that tremendous, yeah. What we talked about mainly you, and
all bad things
how disappointing. This is like the airing of grievances. All the things that were disappointed in you, Dan. No, dude, we were talking about the pandemic. We were talking about the upcoming events that we've got next week is BA and Beyond. So Brucey and I are both going to be in the Benelux next week. So yeah, that was it. We filled a half hour just talking about us.
Wow.
Yeah, we're very I don't know. Like, I had to actually step back from the camera because my head was getting bigger.
Yeah. No.
Understood. Well, cool. So then it's been a fun conversation. I'm sorry I missed out on it. I literally turned around and went, "Oh wow, I have cable back, internet service back, so I might as well try to get on." So thank you for admitting me for having.
Oh, dude, you're welcome. You're welcome, and you're welcome anytime.
Very cool.
Anytime.
Very cool stuff. Yeah.
What's going on with you? So our latest topic of conversation, Dan, is it's been a year.
Yes.
Of pandemic. Formally pandemic. What are your thoughts on that, my friend?
Wow. Okay, I can go down a couple of those roads. The first one being that I've had conversations in the last week or two that through work, we may be actually going back to the workspace sometime in June.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, feasible that we'll be back at work. And I've had conversations with people, as Vince, as you and I talked when we were on with Jen, we talked about having that 4:00 in the morning phone call with your buddy kind of thing, if you recall that. And I was like, I was on the phone this past Saturday night at 4 a.m. with my bro, and we were bourbonizing over scallops, and we were talking about people going back to work after a year. And what is going to be the mentality of those people? Oh, sorry. What is going to be the mentality of those people going back to work? What?
Yeah.
Hello?
No, I want to know who called.
I really don't care. It's interrupting this. So the interesting thing I think is going to be like if people were only out a small amount of time, if they were working from home for a small. Amy, I would never hang up on you. So it's one of those. It's one of those things where.
I'm sorry, Dan. I think you just gave us one of the most classic moments. This is right up there with Dan the Bear Ender. Like
Dan the Bear Ender, right?
Dan the Bear Ender. Yeah.
I'm filling my own highlight reel apparently. So at least for your show.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I'm wondering, like, if people are out 2, 3, 4, 6, 8 weeks, it would have been okay. Let's go back to work. Now that people have been out a year.
Is it the vinyl siding guy or what?
No, it's probably Spectrum calling me to survey about.
For us, it would be duct cleaning, but
now that people have been out a year, how is that? What's the mindset? What's the the frame of mind in? Well, we've been at home being productive for a year. What's the point of going back? And I've had this conversation with employees kind of deal. And how do you go about this, that piece of it? What's going to happen? What's going to happen?
Right. Yeah, you're right. I mean,
for you. That's the news. He's going to hire you.
It's been a long time, right?
Yes.
It's been a long time. So I think there is going to be there's going to be some trauma with having to go back. I've been saying, like, I don't ever want to go back as much as I miss, but I think it comes down to choice. Like, I don't want to have to go back, 5 days a week because what am I doing at the office that I can't do at home? The only thing is, and Bruce and I talked about this, right? I can't run into like friends and have lunch and have coffee.
Right. And that's the gist of it. Like, Bruce is right. They can just say, "Hey, you're fired. Get out of here." Because with so many people unemployed, there will be people that will want to take your job. But does that make for a smart transition? How are they going to work this?
Yeah, I don't know. I hadn't even considered that.
Yeah.
But
I think the one thing you might have mentioned this, Dan, is the productivity piece. So my commute is 15, 20 minutes. I think, Vince, you had a short rail.
Hour and a half.
Yeah, I mean, to
I'm
me,
an hour and a half.
if I was living out where you are, I would be very hesitant to want to go back every day because that's just a long commute. But
Yeah.
I think people do very well working from home. It's just a matter of there is a need for the personal, being able to do those face-to-face interactions, being able to do whiteboards together. And
but whiteboards you can do on. So I guess where I come from it, and my buddy Mike, who was on a couple episodes ago, and we have our podcast. We always talk about this. It's like, what is the problem that you're trying to solve? Is it you want to increase collaboration? Okay, you can do that virtually. Is it, as Rachel's alluded to, you want to encourage hallway conversations? Okay, that you have to think about how are you going to, do that. But you can create the environment that allows that to happen. So, it's what is the problem that you're trying to solve? Don't just say, I want to go back. Everyone's going to go back to work 3 days. Okay, why? Like, what is the problem that you're trying to solve? So,
yeah. I think that's going to be a big thing. And I've had quite a few conversations, even with some of my team members, and I'm a big fan of, okay, like in the end, Bruce is right. Like, if they say, hey, get your butt back into work 5 days a week until I figure out another plan, then my butt will be back into work 5 days a week.
Sure.
And I've had other conversations where I'm like, I'll be darned if I'm going to be wearing a tie every day to work anymore, because I'm a firm believer that a tie, cuts off the blood circulating to your brain. And I think that, like, going down that road is, okay, how is this going to look different for people now that we've been out a year? Again, if we were out 2 to 6 weeks or whatever, it just would have been like, all right, fire up the generators and get back in. But people have been out a year and they've been I don't want to say as productive. That's probably mildly inaccurate, but I still say it's, holding the fort, holding their own, doing what needs to get done.
I think in many cases people are more productive because you don't have those breaks.
I'm sorry, Vince. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say you don't have those breaks, and so to take a call at 5:00, where if I was in the office, I would say I got to get my train, can't do it. Yeah. Now it's like, oh, okay, let me do it because it's gonna make it easier tomorrow or whatever. Like,
right.
And I think, and I agree with you. Like, if our organizations say back in the office 5 days a week, you only have so many choices. But I do think that it is going to fundamentally change how organizations compete for talent, because the ones that continue this and will be more open and accommodating to remote working, think about what that means for them. First of all, they can become that employer of choice where they can attract the high quality talent. But it also means that they
get that check mark on flexibility, on employee flexibility.
Right, but they can also they're not limited by geography.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Like for me, I work in downtown Toronto. Anybody that wants to work where I work needs to be, at least in the before times, needs to be available to commute to and from the city every day. And if you lived in Pittsburgh or Cleveland, that was not feasible.
Right.
But we're all in the same time zone.
Yeah.
So what's to stop? Like if we move to now, I'm able to attract talent globally.
Yeah.
That is the best of the best, right?
Yeah.
Yes, Steve. In the before times, in the time BC before COVID.
Before COVID.
Well,
right.
And I think that it's going to be a challenge along a lot of ways. So I went into the office yesterday, okay, and it was a ghost town. There still weren't people there, and I talked to the mailroom person came up to my office because she said, hey, the door was open to the office. So I had to check to see who was here, which tells me how often people are even in our office, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it was interesting because I said, yeah, somebody from our team said that more people are showing up to work in the building, and she just shook her head. No, she said, no, that's not true. Whatever that statement was all about doesn't make any sense, because she's the one delivering the mail every day. She knows who's there, who's not. You know, it's just not, it's not there yet. But when it does get there, what does it look like? You know, we have signs on the door, hey, come up to the second floor and get your temperature taken when you come in. So I went up to the second floor and I'm looking at who's taking my temperature, because there's nobody around, you know? So it's that kind of ghost town. I saw 8 people in a building yesterday. 8.
Right. I think what it's going to come down to is guilt. Like, I think if offices reopen, you're going to feel guilty that I should really go back. I need to get I need people to see that I'm not, you know, at home slacking, as if like being at home you don't do anything. You know, I think that guilt is powerful. But
well, you know, I log on in the morning at like 6:30, and I often don't log on until 7 o'clock, 7:30, 8 o'clock at night. Now, does that mean I'm sitting in front of my computer the entire time? No. But it does mean that, like, I'm available if something is needed. If I get up and I do something in the house and then I come back to the computer and it's later, you know, I look at all that stuff all day long. I mean, that's the difference between, like you said, you have that 5 o'clock call and you're at work. You're like, no dice. You can call me tomorrow. But you're at home. You'll take the 5 o'clock call.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think organizations are going to have to change. Otherwise, there's a risk that they lose their most talented people. So I think they have to. But I think it's going to take some time, and I think it's going to take some will to actually make it happen. But I think there are organizations that are going to change fundamentally. Otherwise, we're just denying that this was ever a problem, and that's stupid.
Well, it'll be interesting for those organizations that are inflexible to see what happens with them. It could be like a latent response because of the unemployment rate and those pieces. It could be a latent response for them to react. They could get rigid again and then find out that they're losing people because they're being inflexible. But it could be a little bit farther down the road. It may not be like, say we go back in June. It's not going to be July when they figure this out.
Right. Oh yeah. And Rachel is just clearly articulated what I think I said in about 800 words.
Right.
Yes. Very succinct. Yes, Rachel, they will die. And it'll be a painful death.
Much better job than you and I combined.
That's basically what I'm saying.
You need my presentation course on how to speak to executives. I think Rachel's got it down.
Yeah, but we're just chatting here. This is informal. If I had to put a slide deck together,
certainly
I wouldn't have said all this.
3 bullets, please. 3 bullets.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah.
Hey Dan, did you accomplish something recently?
Did I accomplish something recently?
Yeah.
Which accomplishment which minor accomplishment? I mean, it must be like
there's so many, Bruce. What particular accomplishment do you want me to?
Lottery, whatever you want.
I don't know what he's referring to. Like, I woke up.
Certification, my friend. What certification?
Yeah, that was an accomplishment. So I didn't know exactly which one you're talking about. Yes, I did. Hey, I put on pants for the last presentation. No. Is that what, you know, like,
this is that's a good thing. This is the way.
It's an accomplishment. Yeah. So I did I earned my resume certification, and to my fellow international brothers of troublemaking here, I want to thank you guys for the push, the understanding, and the crazy chaos that this resume certification was for me, a resume writer certification. So it took me a year, and a lot of that was me not being in the right mindset to rewrite what had to be rewritten. And so once we had power again, in December, because we've lost power quite a bit around here, I started thinking that I needed to be put in the right mindset. And I want to thank you, Bruce, because Vince, more than you, Bruce has heard every bit of the craziness of this resume writer certification conundrum that I was in.
Mhm.
And the beauty of it is it's more like, hey, I'm now certified. Like I can show that I'm certified in resume writing to clients and whatever. But it was just a in the end, I can make more if I go fill out a application at a fast food place to flip burgers than I do writing resumes. That's the ironic portion of this.
You need a business manager, my friend.
Yeah, I could do much better on that level than I do. But I do thank the entire group for the help, the support, and the hey, we get it, go get this thing, finish it. And now that I've accomplished that, I've moved on to other things that are actually more important than a little silly,
Yes.
Yes. Okay, keep going. I want to hear it too.
Yes.
I've actually started writing my book.
Oh!
Anyway, I did one of those crazy, goofy things today. Like while the power was out, I still had power for my laptop. I didn't have internet or any of that stuff, but I had battery life. So, gentlemen, I've already got my word in for today. I just haven't filled out the form yet.
Awesome.
Writing a book. So yeah, and you guys did too. So congrats on getting somewhere.
Yeah, we're
I think we need
following along.
Yeah, supported each other and get there and move. But it's interesting writing this book because I'm trying to meld these two worlds, right? Bartending and project management. And I'm literally flip-flopping paragraphs and trying to make sure I have transitions. And I can't even write that way right now because I just have to get the idea down on paper and go back later and do the editing piece.
Yeah. This is the ugly first draft.
Yeah, it is totally going to be an ugly baby kind of thing.
Yeah.
Just for you. And
thank you.
You're welcome. And but I am excited because getting the certification out of the way, I've now been able to focus on this and also what is my book about? My book is called, at least tentatively right now in the moment, The Bartender's Guide to Project Management. And it's based on the presentation that I do, and I'm loving
the award-winning presentation.
My what?
Award-winning. I bestow on you an award. My favorite presentation involving alcohol. There, you've just received.
Oh well, I mean, hey, you
just received an award,
right? Who can ask for more than that? Nobody.
Right.
Thank you, Rachel. Yeah, so it's one of those things. I've even had a couple of low-level book publishers, and I mean that just in terms of I haven't done a whole lot of searching yet. A couple people have contacted me and said, "Hey, that sounds like a really good book title, and how far along are you with it?" And I'm like, "I'm not," but now I can say I am. So I'm the push between us has started that process, and I feel very alive with it right now. So that's awesome. Good news. Yeah.
Awesome.
So excited.
Brucey, we need a power outage so that we can get some stuff done.
Oh,
actually, you know what? I won't even say you. I think you're leading the charge right now.
No.
In word count, I am just getting destroyed.
Yeah.
So,
but it's good that the mutual accountability is awesome because that's how we get it done. Otherwise, we'll rib each other and make fun of whatever. It'll work out.
But it comes from a place of love. So yes, we're gonna destroy each other if we don't hit our. I think what's the target? 5,000 words 5, for the month.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so let me just, if I may, go down the road of just perspective. As I started writing this on Monday, Vince, it literally has been 18 months since we were in Boston eating dinner, and you looked at me and said, "You have to write this book." It's been 18 months, and I'm finally putting,
Yeah, we just had a pandemic in the middle, and you had your resume certification, and
I appreciate you making excuses for me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And Rachel, just so that you know, we are each other's accountability buddies. We're our
trying to think of the right word.
Accountability buddies.
Right.
We're
doing it. We're showing more than love is what we're doing.
Yeah, I think we let our, we've been doing this for a couple months, and I think for the first 2 months we let each other off, and it's Bruce, you're busy, it's fine, fine. Now if Bruce doesn't hit his words, we're gonna dump on him, and I fully expect that on April the 1st, the day before our next mastermind meeting, I'm gonna write 4,000 words just so that I can hit my 5,000, because I don't want to
work better under pressure and deadlines.
Yeah. So
it's great. It is really great, because it really did. I was like, wow, I'm going to get some. So I already got my words done for the day, even though I haven't logged them yet, because obviously I've had internet issues. But Bruce, just to catch up with you on that, remember how much that coach cost that we talked about, the book reading coach.
Mm-hmm,
I look back on the quote I got.
Vince is much cheaper. I think he's a better, he's cheaper.
The quote I got was,
what am I cheaper than?
Expand for 6 months.
We're saying that you as accountability bro is you're much cheaper.
Oh, I'm way cheaper. Yeah. Sorry, I just want to acknowledge something. I just pulled something down from my Kanban board. Rachel, it's here. If you can read it. Submit stuff to IIBA Wisconsin. That's for you. It's right. It's like right here, staring me in the face every day. And you know what? I need an accountability coach for getting in my presentation.
Rachel's name sounded familiar. Rachel, you do programming for Southern Wisconsin.
Hey, lay off, man. Lay off. I'm working with Rachel. No. Get out of here. Get out of here, Bruce. Don't horn in. Don't horn in.
Hey, I still owe you an email, by the way, also.
Yes, you do, because we're hoping, and we're hoping that Dan the Bartender brings the Bartender's Guide to Project Management to Serendipity in July. So both of you guys are going to be part of that event. Brucey's going to be moderating a panel for us, and Dan, you're towards the end of the day, I believe.
I'm like 2:15 or something, which is smart. Presenting the Bartender's Guide to Project Management at 9 a.m.
It didn't make.
Not a good thing to be doing.
No. No, it's not.
It's just not.
It's not. It's not. No, Rachel, you don't need Bruce.
2022.
No, we actually, when Adrian and I were going over the schedule, because we're doing everything in Eastern time, and so it would have been cool if you did that at 5 p.m. in the UK, but that would be it's noon, so I guess that would have been okay. But I think we've got you at like 3 o'clock or whatever the time is. It's in the afternoon.
It's at least mid-afternoon, which is better. I mean, I realize it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Right. But so we've got folks from Australia. We've got folks from we've got most of the English speaking world covered, which is really awesome. That's kind of cool. We got submissions from everywhere. We've got Fabrizio who's here, who's going to be speaking, and Stefan from the Belgium from the Brussels chapter. He's going to be participating in I think he's on your panel actually, Bruce. I got to check the setup, cool. But like it's just we've got people, and it's not. Yeah, it's going to be so cool. But Rachel, obviously you can tell there's a little bit of kidding and joking here. Bruce is awesome, so definitely hook him up. Just make sure that he doesn't steal my spot, because that's all I really care about. But Bruce isn't. Yeah. You know what? You can't go wrong with pretty much any of us. Like we're all pretty awesome.
Yeah,
I would say.
Well,
we're pretty good.
it's about
Informative.
content. It's about being there for other people. It's about the learning process. And
Yeah,
you know, every time I present this darn thing, I end up learning a ton myself. So you know, it's enjoyable
Right.
to be doing that.
Well, and I think it's just the, you know, the spirit of competition between us. But I love it when you guys succeed. I love it. Like, it makes me so. I almost hope that you guys finish your 5,000 words and I don't, so that I can, like, yeah, you know, I didn't get mine done, but the fear of me harassing them got theirs done.
Yeah. But, you know, it's the same way I feel about what you guys are doing for Serendipity. It's sort of, I'm like, damn, that's a great idea, and I want this to be successful, and, you know, so, like, you know, this is we're all behind you guys, so we all want to make
I appreciate that. I
and we
appreciate
want it
that.
to be fun.
It is.
I know.
It is going to be fun. Like, we can't. Well, I mean, we've already let the cat out of the bag with Dan's session, but like last week on this show, Fabricio and Mindy were on, and they've got some sessions that are I've never seen them before, and Mindy's going to be doing some really, really cool stuff, which is, it's just cool. It's just cool. Good. So I am excited. Guys, we are coming up on time already.
Wow, that was quick.
Time has
not around, Dan.
I mean, he keeps getting phone calls, so, like, you know.
I'm a busy man.
And the dog. Right? Is that your dog, Vince?
No,
I don't have a dog.
My 2 dogs. That's why I was going on mute and looking up, because the dogs are right above me and whatever the heck they're doing. So, anywho, and, you know, like, for me to, like, hang up on Amy twice, you know, I'm a busy man.
Oh yeah. Call her as soon as you get off there.
Hey, Riddell, no thank you. Voicemail. I'll call her back, maybe.
Maybe.
We'll see. Yeah. Steve, when you see the agenda, it's going to be so much fun, my man. It is so cool. We're building in the space for cool stuff to happen. But anyways, a couple minutes left. Parting words of wisdom. I knew that this one was going to be I think when I put in the description that, you know, there's going to be some laughs here. There's going to be lots of laughs, but we covered some good stuff too. Dan, I think you've been cut from all conferences going forward.
So Dan,
maybe give Amy a shout back.
But it's probably gonna take
flowers,
a bottle of
flowers.
Yeah.
A nice bottle of red, a nice bottle of white. You're good. You'll be fine. Brucey, let's come to you to close this out, my man. What's last thoughts?
Words?
What do you want to communicate to people?
So I got to plug one thing. I do a monthly newsletter, and if you're interested in signing up for it, it's at www.brucegay.com/sign-up. If not, you can find me on LinkedIn. And I do a monthly newsletter it keeps me busy. I should be getting another one out next week. Otherwise, look for me at BA World, BA and Beyond. What else am I doing? Speaking at IIBA Fort Worth, I think, later on in the summer. And definitely more of Amy's organization, doing things for the, you know, Project World, BA World. So looking forward to that.
Amy's Campers.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Amy's Campers. Dan, same question.
You know, I think I just want to express the have fun mantra. I think like we've been so caught up in pandemic and even in this conversation, you know, we talk about those pieces of it. And I think I want to just say, like, have fun. We've been very lucky the last couple days here in Western Pennsylvania to have some better weather, and I'm just like, I'm feeling the lightening of the load just a little bit, and I wanna you know quote Crash Davis and say, hey, get out there and have fun. This game is supposed to be fun. And I think that, you know, even for project management and business analysis, we need to make sure we're injecting a little bit of fun into the mix of whatever it is we're doing with other people.
Good. Yeah.
Amen, my friend. I'm like, yeah, that's it. Laugh every day.
That's
Bang
good
on,
advice.
you got it. That's a great place to end. So I'm gonna add nothing. And I want to thank you guys for being on Analysts After Work. This was tremendous. You know, it was a good, fun laugh, and I appreciate you guys. Can't wait to hook up in person. But
Definitely. Same.
Absolutely. Raise a glass. Fun.
you guys
Thank
don't have to run. I'm gonna end this, but you guys don't have to run. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining in. We'll see you next week on Analysts After Work.